been a few months since we've seen the most important characters in the Fortnite storyline actually in the game, but all of that changes today. But first, if you don't hit the thumbs up button on this video, in exactly 103 days, when you log on to Fortnite, this'll happen. No! But if you do hit the thumbs up button, in exactly 103 days when you log on to Fortnite, this will be waiting for you. Choice is all yours, so choose carefully. The last time we ever saw the Foundation or Agent Jones in Fortnite was during the Collision Live event that took place over 305 days ago. Ever since then, the Fortnite Island has started needing them more than ever. The good news is they finally made the return, and look how close we are to 4.36 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,360,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. For this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. We've wasted too much time. We have an absolute crazy amount of stuff to cover. Let's hop into a game, and let's get into it. Now, before we get to the return of two of the most important characters ever, first things first, here in Chapter 4, something very strange has started happening on the island. It's a pretty small detail that honestly not a lot of people have noticed, unless you completed the Spring Breakout challenges. The change I'm talking about is actually located over here at the Brutal Base End location, being this little tree. Now, this tree is actually known as a cherry blossom tree, and it looks absolutely awesome. Every couple seconds, you're able to see a bunch of peak petals flying off of it, but this isn't the only one, because believe it or not, there are actually 4 other cherry blossom trees scattered across the island, all located at some of the very main and most important point of interest on the map. Now, I know what you're thinking, man. The cherry blossom trees probably remind you a lot of the different reality trees we had pop up at all the different POIs that eventually ended up changing them back in Chapter 3. So unsurprisingly, some people have actually been theorizing that we're gonna see the same thing happen with these cherry blossom trees. They'll begin to start infecting the landmarks and locations surrounding them. But that's likely not the case because, for one thing, you're able to see the islanders purposefully planted these trees from the little pots that they're sitting in, whereas the reality trees, whenever they popped up, just literally came through the ground. In addition to the fact that you're literally able to destroy these trees with your pickaxe, which typically isn't the case for anything that's going to be used in the storyline. But most importantly, you know, this entire season is basically a futuristic Japanese theme. Well, over in Japan, the cherry blossom trees are actually very, very important. So important, in fact, that they actually have a cherry blossom season that takes place from late March to April. Just so happens to be the exact same time it is right now. Long story short, even though these cherry blossom trees look and feel like they're gonna do something important, they're not. They're literally just trees. However, what will play a big part in this season's storyline is one of the brand new Battle Pass skins actually being the Tier 100 known as Mizuki. Now, this is very, very important. Mizuki herself is actually the leader of something known as the River Guard, which are essentially a specialized group with water-based abilities and katana swordsmanship. Now, the River Guard is incredibly important, and we can find way more out about them by heading over to the Mizuki NPC, located right outside of the Citadel location, where at first not too much is revealed, and she just says the River Guard welcomes you if you do not try our patience. Don't forget, in this season, we have the River Guard, Fox Clan, as well as the Peace Syndicate, and if we actually take one of the members of the Fox Clan over to Mizuki, being Stray, we know he's a member of the Fox Clan, obviously, because he has that signature Fox Clan mask on. Mizuki will actually say, "Can I ever forgive you for leaving the River Guard for our historic rivals?" Which is mind-blowing. That confirms that Stray actually used to be a part of the River Guard before eventually leaving them to join the River Guard's rivals, obviously being the Fox Clan themselves. But trust me when I say Mizuki has a very good reason to be upset about Stray leaving the River Guard that I bet none of you saw coming, because if you actually take the Drift skin, the first member of the Fox Clan ever to exist, and go and talk to Mizuki, she'll actually say, "If any harm comes to Stray under your care, little fox, you will feel the storm's wrath." Apparently, Mizuki herself feels a very strong attachment to Stray. Now, the reason for that isn't just because Stray used to be a member of the River Guard, but actually something much deeper. If you look at the character description for Mizuki herself, it actually says, can she keep her cool once her defiant brother Stray returns to the city? Which makes a lot more sense, man, because wouldn't anyone be upset if their own brother betrayed them and made an alliance with their enemies? However, the good news is, in the brand new set of Syndicate quests we received this week, the Fox Clan and Peace Syndicate actually ended up making peace and teaming up together. Now, you think this would be both good news for Mizuki as well as Stray, but not so much, because check this out. If you take the Mizuki skin and go and talk to the Stray character or NPC, he'll actually say, I left home for a reason, and I'm not coming back. Clearly, man, there's a lot of drama currently going down in Mizuki and Stray's family. Apparently, something happened at Stray's home that made him leave the River Guard for good. Currently, that's all the information we have about this mini storyline, but I'm sure Epic Games will give us more as the season progresses. The good news is, Epic Games just dropped the bomb about the return of Foundation and Agent Jones. And I know what you're thinking already, man. Agent Jones already made his return at the end of Chapter 3, right before we went into Chapter 4, where he was actually on the island as an NPC, doing his best to help us prepare for the upcoming live event. But that was more than likely just a snapshot of Agent Jones, and not the real one that we saw enter into the 0 point during the Collision live event alongside the Foundation. And it's believed the reason for entering the 0 point is actually an attempt to prevent that mysterious entity that we saw inside of it from breaking free and actually controlling the entire 0 point while wreaking havoc on the multiverse. In Chapter 4, it was revealed that this mysterious entity was actually Geno himself. I'm not talking about the ageless character that was a boss at the Citadel in the first season of Chapter 4, but the actual Geno, the one that was responsible for creating the entire Omniverse, and who was also more than likely the shapeless man that the Rift Warden Stellan warned us about all of last season. Anyway, after entering the 0 point, the Foundation and Agent Jones were transported to a parallel universe or alternate dimensions within the game's multiverse. Now, this theory is supported by the fact that the 0 point has been shown to have the ability to create portals to other dimensions, as seen in numerous previous seasons and live events here in Fortnite. Once entering the 0 point, the reality they entered looked very similar to the Sideways that we saw in Chapter 2 Season 8, the exact same season that had the Cube Queen. We were actually able to enter these Sideways bubbles that almost look the same as the reality Agent Jones and the Foundation were in. Anyway, Epic Games has actually named this reality The Realm, and it was actually revealed in the Fortnite Marvel Zero War comics that once entering the realm, the Foundation and Agent Jones actually laid eyes on Geno and the Imagine, who is Geno's daughter, who immediately started discorporating from entering the 0 point before Geno eventually gave up and handed the 0 point over to the Seven, that they then used to leave the realm and eventually return back to Reality Zero, the main reality where the Fortnite storyline takes place. Obviously, this explains how we saw Agent Jones come back before Chapter 4 release, but it definitely doesn't explain why we have yet to see the Foundation return. But honestly, here's the thing. A lot of people have complained that the Fortnite Marvel Zero War comics have totally ruined the Fortnite storyline, because there are numerous different examples like that where it'll say somebody returned that we haven't actually seen return in the game of Fortnite itself, but the comics are a part of the Fortnite storyline, meaning the Foundation and Agent Jones have actually returned to the island. It's just incredibly weird because the actual game of Fortnite storyline doesn't really seem to match up with the actual storyline at all. I think the main reason for this is because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a very famous actor who also does the voice for the Foundation, has apparently been insanely busy over the past 6 months or so, acting in a bunch of different movies, and I guess we can't really blame him for taking those massive opportunities, and instead it's probably more of Epic Games' fault for recruiting one of the most famous actors in the world to play the main character. So even though technically the Foundation and Agent Jones have already returned from their trek into the 0 point, apparently we still need to wait for the entire Fortnite storyline to fully catch up. As soon as they do make the return though, and that is gonna be awesome, I'm gonna make sure to let all of you guys know by making a tweet over my Twitter account @HomeAtGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.